Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another disappointing day in Hornets history. Lamelo Ball was not named an All-Star despite having an outstanding sophomore season. He is beat out by none other than Toronto Raptors' Fred VanVleet. And this video isn't going to take anything away from Fred VanVleet and his 21 points per game season so far. But when you think of impact to a team, would you rather have a 6'2 guy who chucks up threes, who makes them at a pretty decent clip, 39%, who gives you 7 assists? But that's not all. He gives you, what, 5 rebounds a game. Fred VanVleet gives you those stats, right? Would you have that? Or would you have a 6'8 dynamic, all-around player? How many steals a game? 1.5. Although Fred VanVleet has a lot of steals, per game as well. I choose Lamelo. I do. I don't think Fred VanVleet's that type of player to be named an All-Star over Lamelo. And as a Hornets fan, as a Hornets super fan, I'm bummed out right now because we had two guys having a real shot at these Eastern Conference reserves in Miles Bridges and Lamelo Ball, and we get no one, despite having the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. And I know a lot of you watching this video, it's like they're the 7th seed. The Wizards were the 1 seed, so why does that matter? Charlotte has not been a good team for the last existence of their existence. We made the playoffs for, I guess you can't even call it the playoffs. It was the play-in last year, and we got blown out by 40 to the fucking Pacers. We have not been back to the playoffs since 2016, I believe, with Kemba. We have not had an All-Star since 2019 with Kemba. Although I was pushing for Gordon Hayward last season because, if you guys can recall, he did not get injured since post-All-Star break, and before All-Star break, he was having a great season. But obviously, it was kind of fugazi because it's Gordon Hayward. I didn't really expect him to make the All-Star game, but I expected one of our 2 guys to make an All-Star team. And there's 2. So a lot of people say that people have been snubbed, but they don't give their replacement. For Lamelo Ball, that's Fred VanVleet. I think Lamelo Ball beats out Fred VanVleet. You can argue Darius Garland, but the Cavs are sitting pretty at the 5th seed right now. Darius Garland is a huge reason why that. But Fred VanVleet, his team's the 8th seed, two games behind the Hornets. And I know team success doesn't really matter because you have Trae Young at that 10 seed and he was a starter. But I think it does matter a little bit. You look at the weapons that each team has, and I think LaMelo just makes people way better around him. I just do. He gives you 7.2 rebounds, almost 8 assists, 1.5 steals a game, half a block a game, on great efficiency. And if we want to go to Miles Bridges, what his replacement would be, because obviously I'm not the type of guy that's like, I really want Miles Bridges to be in the game, but I don't want to offer someone to go out of the game. But I do. Chris Middleton is a big surprise to me. Chris Middleton has not played a lot this season. He is averaging 19.6 points per game. Great efficiency, I will say. But Miles Bridges, he beats him out in points. He beats him out in field goal, not three-pointers, because Miles Bridges has been in a little bit of a slack so far. Beats him out in rebounds, is 2 less than him in assists. And again, the Bucks are sitting pretty at 4th. But Chris Middleton is not a big reason of that. You got Grayson Allen, who is getting back to his dirty stuff again. But you have Grayson Allen, you have Giannis. Drew Holiday hasn't been there a lot. But you have, Jordan Nwora is stepping up crazy for them. I don't think Chris Middleton is a big part of why they're winning so many games this season. Yes, he's still averaging 19 points per game. But Miles Bridges has come on this year. And for both of them not to make it, unbelievable. I expected for the first time in 3 years to us have an all-star. And for the first time in 12 years. I think Jared Wallace made it in 2010 for us to get an All-Star, and it hasn't happened. Our last All-Star player obviously was Kemba Walker for the 3 All-Star games that he made it. But I wanted Lamelo. I wanted Miles Bridges, and they made a great point on the TNT broadcast that maybe they just split votes. So, it's frustrating. So, yeah. I will say the Charlotte Hornet media has to do a better job. They were trying to vote in 4 different guys, I believe. And yes, all NBA teams are pulling for more than one guy. But Gordon Hayward's not going to make the All-Star team. Terry Rozier isn't going to make the All-Star team. So I don't know why the Charlotte Hornet media is pushing to vote for them. Push LaMelo. Push Miles Bridges. People that actually have a shot at this. And maybe we can get more of that fan vote in there. More than the Toronto Raptors, which I guess they have a whole country pulling behind these players. But it's unbelievable. You do not think of Fred VanVleet as an All-Star. You just don't. Yes, it's well-deserved from him. He comes from Rockford, Illinois, which my whole family's from, so it's a good thing for them. Good thing for that small little town who's seen, the gang violence there is crazy. But that's another story. I like Fred VanVleet. I'm not saying I'm a hater of him. I just think LaMelo Ball deserves more. I think he deserves it more. And yes, LaMelo is still young, second year, but this was his expectation going into the season. You got Rookie of the Year. You had a solid freshman season. This sophomore season, the next step, as many people comparing to Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was an All-Star his second season. LaMelo Ball is not, somehow. It's frustrating. But that's the video. Subscribe if you guys like to.